Full moon energy, and my period came right on time. Do you know that our menstrual cycles align perfectly with full moon cycles? That's why bitches be crazy on the period. Just kidding. But I find that fascinating because if the moon were to blow up tomorrow, then we would not be able to reproduce as a species. Any mammal can't reproduce. So if the sun has, or if the moon has that much doctrine over our physical bodies, and if the sun, now that we're understanding, if the solar flares carry photons and our DNA is mainly photons and sound frequency, it's going to open up ancestral roots, which is in our genealogy. Our genealogy carries 16 generations of traumas, celebration, of life experience, okay? That's just our genealogy buildup, right? Now let's move it up one notch. Okay, well, what does our karmic contract carry? Okay? So with the solar flares that just hit us, fantastic. Let's rock and roll. Let's alchemize it. Okay, now full moon energy. A moon is like a satellite dish. The larger it is, the more receptive we are. So people who are more on the emotionally unstable side, they're going to be even more cray-cray. But you know what? I don't even say that about myself. I think I'm just very open to share where I'm at, and the amount of thanks I've had, because you know what? A lot of people don't want to admit that they're feeling all this, right? And that's why when we get vulnerable, show thyself, it can really help someone. Just like the individuals in my life who are content creators and who post every day and they are relentless. Thank you. Because you give me strength and you give me courage to be like, you know what I'm thinking is real. What I'm feeling is real, because there's other people out there feeling and thinking the same things. It is a collective awakening. So this full moon, how can we really use it to our advantage? Okay, everything has positive and negative charge. I can either be a negative Nancy about it, or I can be positive. So this morning, I really need to practice rewiring my brain. Last night, I fell asleep to positive affirmations. This morning, I listened to positive affirmations. I'm going to focus on my breath, like I really want to quit smoking. And like the more I'm like, I have to. I'm taking away my power, so I can be like, I choose to smoke less today. I choose to speak kind words over my life today. I choose to be kind to thy neighbor. I choose not to judge myself or thy neighbor. I choose to eat consciously today. I choose to eat healthy foods today. I choose to be attentive to my children today more than I was yesterday. I'm gonna choose my energy wisely today. What do I want to see fruition? What is repetitive? Man, I clean every day nonstop. And the fact that it doesn't stay clean is fucking beyond me. I don't get it. It's like a loop of my own hell. But it's life, right? And it's all about balance. I need to find the balance so I'm not a burnout. Because if we repeat the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, it can burn us out. Whether it be going to work every day, whether it be raising a family, whether it be healing, man. We all play these roles in our lives. But it's how we perceive it is how we are going to move through it, either with grace and ease or in misery. So rewiring the brain can be very helpful to help us ascend to this 5D, because 5D is an energy. Everybody feels this inkling in their soul. They don't know what it is, but they just feel something's just off. And it's because our frequency beings are off. Okay? And if we're off on an energetic level, it's going to create mental unrest, because if our thoughts create a frequency, and if our thoughts aren't aligned with the new frequency of love, then it's just going to be a hate or a hate replay, because that is what 3D is about. Okay, there's joyous times in 3D, but it's mainly a masculine energy field, and if there's too much of one thing, it's going to create internal unrest. It's going to come out through how we think about ourselves, how we treat ourselves as a body, right? Like 5D is here, and it's only going to get stronger because these solar flares are just going to keep coming and coming and coming. And the biggest thing it's going to do, it's going to cause anxiety. It's going to cause confusion, because we are just opening up this Pandora's box of knowing. So with this full moon, how am I going to utilize it? Okay. Excuse me. I'm gonna talk to people today who I feel safe with. I'm gonna practice gratitude today. Above all, I'm gonna listen to music that make me happy. Music is a great tool for alchemizing. Maybe I'll try to write and post some poetry. Maybe I'll draw. I'm gonna minimize my screen time today, big time. Right? Like in the Bible, it says, "Look to the stars, the moon, and the suns for keys to God's will." Right? No different than the ancients. They honored the equinoxes because the summer equinox, because it meant like, okay, good time to harvest or plant shit. You know what I mean? Like everything is tailored around outside of us, but from an organic standpoint back in the day, right? Everybody was focused on surviving by growing food, by honoring the planet, because if they honored the planet, that meant they survived. They were one with the planet. They're one with they're one with the moon and the sun. They built a relationship with the star constellations. They didn't have the outside external things to distract them to what is really there. And what is really there is the unseen. It's the connection that we have to spirit. So as 5D continues to be our new reality, these are some things that we may wake up to and naturally want to gravitate towards. So if that's what you're feeling, good for you. Get vulnerable. Light a candle. Write down a gratitude list. Write down a letter and write it as you are writing it, as though it has happened. Believe in it so much. Like, man, I think a lot of my anxiety has been like from me posting these videos, because like it's like, man, the cat's out of the bag. This is me. And that's the fear talking. But in retrospect, how many people am I helping? Right? When we get out of fear and we act authentically, like I love learning about this stuff. It brings me joy. It brings me fulfillment. Like, this is what I want to do on a career path. And I am, and I will, and so be it. It's not going to happen right now, and that's another thing. We live in a society that is now. I know for me, man. For sure. I heard about weight loss surgery. Boom. I was in Mexico because I had so much trauma from bullying, from neglect, from abandonment, that I didn't know how to really love myself enough to stay committed. I didn't have the support. You know, I didn't have that in my life. And that's okay, because the surgery got me to where I got to go, but now it's going to be even harder to get healthier. Right? But it was the ignorance of knowing thyself. Fuck being a victim. Yeah, it sucked, right? But we don't realize that the grass isn't always greener on the other side, right? So when we start to learn and love ourselves, then we realize the grass is green just in front of us. Full moon energy. Gratitude list for Emily Beckett. I'm going to write a letter as if I'm reading it, as though it already happened. I'm going to be present. Give as much love to my children and to my friends. And yeah, man. Much love.